All right. Welcome to the Rideshare Garage. It is Wednesday night, 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. And I can't believe it, but we got a guest tonight. We got a VIP guest tonight. I would like to introduce everybody to Brandon, the Chicago Lux Driver Plus. You didn't think I was going to notice the plus.
I didn't put that on there, but okay, sure. The plus is nice.
You're the man. What can I tell you, bro? And of course, we got Steven, the unbroken driver here. Eddie's out working. He'll be in shortly at some point. I think he's going to work a little later because we did a couple of live streams today with the whole trading thing. I'm not sure if Jeff's coming through tonight, but yeah, I'm sure if he can be here, he will. Who else? I said invite. Oh, Omar's out working. I think he's at the Miami Open, which is a tennis match. So we'll see how it goes, but we're going to get started with these two guys here, and we want to welcome everybody. Hope everybody had a great week this last week. I dare to say, Brandon, buddy, wow. I first let me congratulate you on controlling the Discord. Like, I know I haven't been there, and I apologize to you, leaving you out there hanging all by your lonesome.
I've only had to ban one person.
Oh, really? I never heard about them.
We had to
they were the only thing that they were posting in the Discord was like political, like rideshare drama, and that's it. Just photos of political rideshare drama. They didn't post anything else. They didn't chat about anything else. It just randomly at random times throughout the day they would just post screenshots of random things that would just cause drama. It's like you're not doing anything contributing to this or anything. He made like 4 or 5 posts, and that's all he does. Like, no, you need to get out of here.
Well, you know what, brother? There ain't nothing wrong with that because you're either gonna help. You're gonna be a problem solver, or you're gonna be a problem. If you're gonna be a problem, then listen. You do the right thing, bro. You bounce them, kick them to the curb, send them home. I ain't trying to hear all that. You ain't trying to hear all that. All right, so Patty's in the house. Oh, listen, bro, if you guys don't know, Commuter Branchline is in Ireland. This dude shows up all the time from Ireland. So I want to say good evening to him. He says good evening.
Good evening.
And Stephen. Good evening.
How was St. Paddy's Day in Ireland?
Mr. Lobo.
How many gallons of whiskey did he drink?
How much juice did he drink?
All right. Hey, listen, knowing Patty, he's going to give you an answer. Mr. Lobo's in the house from Detroit. What's going on, brother? Mr. Fritz is back. We like seeing Mr. Fritz. He's a good dude.
Fritz.
Oscar's in the house. He's already like, let's hit that like button, everyone. I ain't got no problem with that. Y'all come on in, like it up. So, Brandon, like we know, Stephen, we talked about your smash him up dirty last week. But before we get into where Brandon's been and some of the problems he's been having, you kind of put a little elbow grease on that Tesla door for the temporary.
Yes.
And I think that's something that, maybe you could just kind of touch upon that real quick before we get into Brandon's thing.
All I did was hit it with WD-40. The mark was really bad. There was a lot of paint transfer and debris on the clear coat. So what I did was hit it with WD-40, let it sit for a bit, and was able to wipe away most of what was transferred onto my car. So the bump is still there, but most of the discoloration and how ugly it looked is gone. And so I wiped all that away. Elbow grease, so it just kept rubbing, going in circles until the stuff came off. So there is one light scratch, and then the door is still pushed in slightly, but because of the shape of the door, the shaping and everything, it looks almost like nothing happened from different angles. So I just took pictures, sent them over to Lyft, and they put my car back on. I've been able to drive my car. So I'm really bouncing back and forth between whether I want to get my car fixed before Coachella or do Coachella and Stagecoach first and then get my car fixed, just because I don't know how long they're going to keep it in the shop, and I don't want to get stuck without my car. But so far, I've been driving all this weekend. I started driving Thursday last week.
And so when is Coachella again?
What is that? The 13th, I think. Let me see.
Okay, so then you got a little bit of time. So if somebody
Yeah,
pops off and says something, then you can do what you got to do. You make a decision.
right.
I know we're loaded this weekend. We got Miami Music Week started tonight. I know that's where Omar said he was going to head down into Miami, an area called it's called Brownsville. We growing up, we called it the Sub. It was one of those areas. If you didn't know nobody, you didn't go in. So they're trying to revitalize that area with a thing called Factory Town, which is pretty good. And they've been doing a lot of events down there. So I know he's down there. We got Ultra rolling in on us. We got the Miami Open, which is the big international tennis tournament. That's rolling at the stadium. So yeah, I hope you can make the right choice. And if ain't nobody drive at night, bro. That's all. Just drive at night.
Mm-hmm.
Black car at night. I mean, it shouldn't be that bad.
I've had more people saying how nice the car was than complaining about it. No, I haven't had a single person complain or ask me about it. So,
hey, well then, and they're able to close the door pretty good.
Yeah, it's got a. You have to close it a little harder than normal, but yeah, they can open and close it fine.
Cool. All right. Real quick before we get into Brandon, St. Patrick's Day was a little cold. However, we kept warm with about 10 pints of Guinness and a couple of whiskey chasers. Over the whole day, it was enough to have a great day, but not too much. I told you, Brandon, you ask, you shall receive. Patty he's always on it. Although I'm from Ireland, the content and the banter is top quality.
Thank you.
All right. So Brandon, bro, what's going on, man? Give it to us, brother.
So I was going through my Turo thing, and I had a booking, and so I was looking for a vehicle on Turo for me to rent myself, a Tesla. I had booked a Model Y. It was with the the per day rate and everything and fees included. It was less than what I was gonna make off of renting out my Porsche. So basically, it was just free gas for me at that point, which is a win. So I did that, and then like 12 hours prior to the rental starting, I got a message from the host for the person who I was renting the Model Y from. Oh, I had an emergency come up. I can't do it. So I'm like, shit. What am I gonna do? So I had missed his Turo support, and I was like, hey, just cancel this. Like, I can't do it. Blah blah blah. And they're like, no. Let's do something to make it right. And I was like, yeah, but like everything else on there is more expensive. Like I don't want to pay that. So then they were like, okay, pick a car. And it took me a second. I was like, go and favorite a car, and we'll look at it and we'll make it right. So I booked a couple. I favorited a couple Model Ys, and then it's like, oh, there's a 2023 Model S. Let me just favorite that real quick. And so they're like, okay, so I see you favorited a couple of Model Ys. Like, okay, so which one do you want? I was like, well, um, I don't know. So like, actually, I changed my mind. I wanna get this Model S, and I just kind of threw it out there. I wasn't expecting them to do anything. Or like, all right, let me go talk with some people and give me 5 minutes. So I gave her the 5 minutes, and then she's like, all right, we're going to credit you the difference so that you can get the Model S.
Really?
For the same price as what I would as I would have paid for the Model Y. So I was like, okay. I get to drive a Model S for 5 days. It sounded like a great idea at the time to me. And then I got it. Thing drives the second most comfortable vehicle I've ever driven. First is a 7 Series. The suspension is unreal. The acceleration is unreal. It's insane. I was doing obviously Lux and Lux Black with it, and then a couple of Uber X. no one, like, only maybe a couple of people really knew what the car really was, because like the unfortunate part of the Model S is that it looks very similar to the Model 3. There
Yeah.
isn't that much of a difference, so people will be like, "Oh, that's a completely different car." Like, you have to really look at it to know. So people weren't really like, like, you're picking me up in $100,000 car. It's like they didn't really know. Anyways, um, first first night I did it. First day I did it, everything was great, and then this was like, I think it was like a Friday night, and at like I was picking up someone from the train station and taking them to uh, uh, um, the central part of the city. So they were going to go and party or whatever. And on the way there, I don't know, about 3/4 of the way there, I noticed that the tire pressure warning light came on. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Um, so I mid drive, I pulled open the safety, and I noticed that one of the tires was like already at 30 psi. I was like, okay, let me just finish this ride and I'll go fill it up, no problem. And then I watched it, and it kept dropping like 1 psi like every 10 seconds. I was like, oh shit. So I was like, let me see if I can make it. I tried to make it, but I only got to like maybe 2 or 3 blocks away from the destination before I saw 10 PS. I was like, hey, sorry, I gotta pull over like right now. They're like, oh, that's fine. It's only just a couple blocks away. So luckily, where I stopped,
Mhm.
I was literally right behind a valid parking spot. So I was like, okay, great. Um, I'm not going to be able to get the car towed because I'm not going to be able to get the thing repaired because there's no there wasn't anybody available that had that tire available. It had to be special
So
ordered.
hold on a minute. So the tire for the Tesla, this is the Model S
Yeah,
from
it was
Turo. From
yeah.
Turo. Okay. You can't just plug the tire or have somebody patch it. It has to be.
The sidewall was damaged. You can't plug the sidewall.
And it came to you that way, or
No.
you had a little rough?
The only thing I can guess what happened is that, I did do a few pulls on it, and what I'm guessing, because there wasn't any curb damage to the wheels, so I know I didn't hit any curbs. But I guess what happened is that maybe I pulled so hard that it ripped a $650 tire on the
Oh,
side. Um,
oh,
and it wasn't the Michelin Pilot Sport Cups, but it was like a similar brand, but it was designed specifically for the Model S. So I was like, okay, this sucks. So I called a couple of 24-hour tire shops, like, no, we don't have a tire of that kind here. So I was like, all right, no point in paying, no point in getting it towed, and I ended up having to pay like an overnight fee somewhere. So I was waiting for the person in front of me to see if maybe they were gonna get there and like move so that I can move the Tesla in that spot and just let it sit there overnight. Because I was technically in a spot where an invalid parking spot, so the car would have gotten towed or would have got ticketed if I left it there. So I waited for like almost 2 hours, and finally they came up, and I was like, "Oh my god, thank you!" I was like, "Oh, what happened?" Yeah, I got a flat tire, whatever. So I parked the day overnight, and I went there at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I got the Tesla, and this is when it went from like, okay, it is what it is, to this is fucking sucks. I I there's this mode specifically for putting a Tesla on a tow truck. It's called like tow mode, and I thought I had it on, and as soon as the guy started to pull the bed back up so that he can start driving, the thing went off. So I was like, oh shit, let me go and get in there real quick and enable it or whatever. So I did that. He hooked it up, and I verified that the car was in tow mode and everything was in park. So I thought, okay, everything is great. um so when it came down for him to lower the car and unhook the chains, as soon as he unhooked the chains, the
right.
car started rolling back.
Uh-oh.
I was like, "Oh fuck!" So when the car when the rear hit hit the ground, one of the tires popped.
Oh,
So it's that nothing else did, thankfully. Nothing else was damaged, thankfully, I guess. But basically, getting that rental for free ended up resulting in me in losing $1,300.
whew.
And Turo insurance doesn't cover tires, and my credit card doesn't cover rentals unless it's from an official renter. Like they don't cover
Oh
Turo. They don't
no.
cover Turo rentals. And then the tow truck guy felt bad for me because I told him I had to pay out of pocket. I was like, yeah, I'll just tell them that I did it so they can do it. So I tried to,
Oh
and then
wow.
and then the tow truck guy stiffed me. The company stiffed me. They blocked my number. I tried calling them, and then they ended up just blocking my number. So I was
So
like,
he offered to help, said he'd take the hit, and
and
then
the, and
told
the,
you,
and the,
and then cut you off.
I guess when the manager heard about what happened, what the cost was, because I guess he wasn't expecting, the tire to cost $650. So and maybe he was like, oh, it's just $200, no problem, I'll do it. But no, it was a $650 tire. So at that point, after I showed him the estimate, he stopped talking to me.
Wow. Okay, so let me hold you up right there because I think that's going to answer Mr. Lobo's question here real quick. He wanted to know so you can rent from Toro to Uber
Um.
and Lyft.
So let me.
This is
heed
like
for
working out really good right here.
heed from my words. And don't do what I do. That's all I'm gonna say about that. To answer your question, no, you cannot. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. Um.
Yeah, and so
So
Fritz has made a good point. He says always carry a tire plug and portable air compressor with you. Yeah, I would say that's really good for like most, but not for
not not
not
not.
not not in this case. It wouldn't help him
Yeah,
out.
the sidewall was damaged. So, I mean, luckily I had enough money to cover that, so that was okay. But the problem was, it was like, oh yeah, we'll get the tires tomorrow, and it'll be like, all right. So I'm out with the car for a day. I was like, whatever. So, I called them the next day, and I was like, hey, so like, you got the tires there? I was like, oh, blah blah blah, and apparently um, the tires weren't there. I was like, what the hell? So
You
I
got to
was
run it from hell.
so they're like, oh, they don't deliver on Sundays. You got to come
What?
on Monday. Yeah, that's what they said. So the tires won't get here until Monday. So I was basically without the
You were-
vehicle for 2.5 days,
Oh,
and I had to pay that $1,300 out of pocket. Um,
Jesus.
but that's not even the worst of everything that's been going on
Oh
recently.
my God. Okay, hold
Um,
on. Let me get a couple people in here real quick. Nobel, hey gang, what's going on? Jay, what's going on? We're in the middle. We got Brandon back. He's going through his last 2 3 weeks of pure D hell. So if you guys, I mean, if you're renting, he's got some words of advice for you here. Up, and of course Jay's coming in with Mr. Para is back. All right. All right. So go ahead and continue, my friend. Octavian Ian, I'm going to get to you. I'm going to come back to that question. I see what you said there.
so the other thing that just most recently, well, I mean, a few weeks ago happened. I had rented. I got a booking for someone who wanted the Porsche for the weekend. No problem. I
Uh
would
huh.
get a. I ended up getting another another Model Y. No, actually, no. Wait, I'm sorry. I ended up getting a Model 3 from Uber, and during that time, so that was fine. And then he started acting kind of weird towards like the end. It's like, extended the day. Okay, no problem. Then he wanted to extend another day. I was like, okay, I don't mind, but like, how many more days do you really need this for? Because like, if you're just, I don't know why you're just booking it day by day by day. So, um, so he I don't understand why this happened because the guy had like 26 prior ratings and a 4.9 rating. So I was like, okay, I really didn't have any reason to be suspicious because he was to tourist standards that's a lot of rentals, that's a lot of ratings. Um, so I was like, okay, I was like, let me And then he's like, "Oh yeah, the seatbelt warning indicator isn't going off." I was like, "Okay, I've never had that issue before. I'm already here, so just drop off the vehicle and I can check it out and see what's going on here." And I was like, "No, no, no. You what? No, I'll just rebook it. Go ahead and approve it." I was like, "Whatever." So I looked on the app and I had proved it, but then I immediately saw that he had booked it for the following day, so meaning that he was going to try to get a free day. So
Oh, wow.
immediately I was like, "No, absolutely not." Um, it was like, "Oh, but Turo has a special where I get a free day rental." I was like, "Yeah, but that's on Turo. That has nothing to do with me. If I don't have that car booked for that day, I don't get covered for anything." And he kept trying to say, "Oh, well, it should be your responsibility." And I was like, "No, it's not." So I was like, "You know what, man? Just
Wow.
give me the car back. I'm
Right.
canceling this. Give me the car back now." And luckily, I did get the car back without any incidents.
Okay.
Um, so I immediately took the car. I put it back into the parking garage across the street because I already knew something was up. So as soon as I got there, I started to assess the vehicle. And long story short, uh, 3 of the rims and 2 of the tires were damaged.
No way.
Yeah, and he never said anything about this. And the warning indicators that were coming up, I don't know. I just got back from the Porsche dealership the other day. They said that they saw those warning indicators come up, but they didn't see any actual issues. So it's like, don't worry about it. I was like, okay, that's weird, whatever. Anyways, basically the biggest screw over I got on was that my Porsche I at the time was only was I had chose the 90 payout plan, basically meaning that I would only get the minimum insurance coverage, but I would get 90% of the pay. 90% of the pay.
Okay.
I had learned that just the harsh reality that was the worst decision I could have made. Because of that issue, I ended up having to pay a $2,500 deductible towards all
Oh,
the damage.
oh, shit.
Um, so Turo did pay, but they only paid $1,000. So I had to pay $2,500, and then so I had to pay $3,500, but Turo covered 1,000 of that.
Right.
So yeah, because of that, because of all the incidents and everything that happened in the process, I was without that car for 3 weeks. So I ended up renting a Model Y from a guy from Turo, and I kept extending it, and he was so cool. He was cool with everything. I kept
Yeah, he's
taking
getting
pictures.
paid.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I was showing the pictures. He was seeing in the app that everything was, he was able to connect to the car to the app, so everything was fine. I kept taking photos of it all the time when I was extending it, and then he was cool with it. So that I guess for that sake that was good. But yeah, so between those two incidences, deducting the Turo money I got, I ended up losing about $4,000
Jesus
this month.
Christ.
Yeah,
God
but
damn.
luckily, between St. Patty's Day and the now resurgence of black rides coming in, because there's constant streams of conferences and business people coming in for
Right.
traveling now. So it's
Right.
now I'm I don't have to. I can get away with not doing airport rides in the early AM and still make $400 a day, only working 5 to 6 hours. So
Okay.
that's what I've been doing, and it's been great. Like today, like this week, Lyft gave me a bonus to do 40 rides for $160, and I can
Okay.
you can easily do that in 5 days. So I just hit the 30 requests today, and as a result, within 3 days, I'm already at like 1,030, which is really good because I just got the car back yesterday. So I've been pushing
Jesus.
it really hard. Um, but yeah, as long as I continue to make like $300 to $400 a day, I'll definitely have enough money to cover my expenses for the month, even with all
Right.
that bullshit going on. But the bright side, and I'd say the biggest news, which kind of is motivating me, even with all this bullshit going on that just happened, is that I went ahead and like 3 months ago, I had signed up for the chauffeur's test again because I missed it the last year. Because last year at the time I was only doing it part time. I was like, I really didn't want to get myself into it, and now that I'm doing it full time, I was like, yes, definitely need to do it. So I went ahead and did that, and got the fingerprints, got all the requirements, and then like it was like on Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Friday, Friday. Just past Friday, I just went and I did the test, passed. Obviously, I knew all the answers from the last test.
Okay.
Got my got my fingerprints done, and I gave, and then also like the day prior, I got my death affidavit form from the city of Chicago, proving that I don't owe any money. I did have to spend about $1,600 to get all that clear, because I did
Right.
owe the city. I was like, this is I 100% have to do it. It's
Right.
this is 100% worth it. So I went in and I went ahead and paid that off, and now it's just I'm waiting on the business affairs consumer whatever department to process my chauffeur's license, and as soon as I get that, as soon as they tell me to come in, then I can go, and I'm gonna immediately go. Hopefully the same day I get it, and lease a you know at least an SUV from someone that has a fleet account, and you know get them to add me to the fleet and start doing rides the same day. If I don't, if I find someone that they don't have an SUV, whatever, I'll take a sedan. I just want to get something to where I can start doing Uber Black, because here 70, I would say 70-80% of the black rides that come in the city go through Uber.
Okay.
So like they those guys stay very busy, and like I had my apprentice had spoken to someone who did who had an SUV, and he only did SUV rides like the weekend prior, because here for whatever reason they celebrate St. Patty's Day, like they go hard like the week prior, because
Oh, damn.
they color their river green the week prior.
Yeah, man. They
So
tried
so
that here a couple years ago. I don't like it.
so he spoke with the guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I accepted every SUV ride, and I worked from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and he made like $1,200. He didn't even like do anything max efficiency. He just accepted every ride for a 12-hour stint. He didn't even work during the peak prime hours, and he was still averaging $100 an hour, which is insane.
Wow.
And the 12-hour shift making 12 hours, and he only did Uber. He didn't even split doing rides with like Uber and Lyft. So like
Right.
that tells me that like on like a good weekend, I can easily pull, $1,000 to $1,500 in a night, and like just that alone is was worth me going through all the paperwork and all the effort and all this BS and all this, the $5,000+ I've lost this month. It's fine. It's going to be worth it when I get my hands on a vehicle and start doing black rides, because that's really where
That's where your money is.
that's where the money is. 100%. It's
Yeah.
it's 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 crazy how busy those guys can stay. Like when I went to pick up my Porsche the other day, I requested black because it was actually the same price as other rides. I was like, whatever. So I saw his account, and it was only a month old, because he had recently switched his account to Uber Black. So the way that works here is that you have to send a message to support, and then they'll switch your account to Uber Black, kind of reset your account. They have to run another background check, and then
Oh,
your account will be
Jesus
Uber Black.
Christ.
So, and I saw that his account was only 1 month old, but he had 650 rides. He did. So that means that he did 650 black rides in 1 month.
Holy
That's
shit.
150 a week. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's just like, oh my God, that is insane. And he was also diamond. He was also diamond driver too.
Oh,
Oh, he's
But I
making
mean, I guess for if you're accepting every black ride, it's not as bad as accepting every Uber ride. So that was fine. But the fact that he was able to do 650 rides in 1 month. It's just mind blowing to me.
That's mind blowing.
That really reaffirms to me the fact that me going black is the right choice. Because if I can get that many rides and stay that busy, it's all going to be worth it.
You know what they say, Brandon, right?
Once you go, you don't go back. No, that's the point.
Don't go back.
I mean, once I got my hands on the,
it applies to many things. You know, it applies to a lot of different things.
Once I got my hands on the Audi Q7 and I wrapped it in matte black, I started doing Lux Black rides. It was just a completely different world open up to me. And I've not gone back since.
Well,
with the exception of when Uber goes insane and starts paying me $28 for an 11-minute ride, I'll do Uber X then.
Oh well, you know, you could do a 3 mile ride. You know, I can show everybody that, but then I probably have about, I think I got like 1570, 1580 subs right now. I might lose 1,500 of them if I show that ride I got last week. It just, listen, bro.
No, like the rate
went through hell, bro.
The rate that you get those rides is about the same rate that I would get them here. I've spoken to a few of the SUV drivers today, and they're like, yeah, like nine out of every 10 rides they do is just regular black. So you know, it's the same thing here. Very few rides are black, but when you get them, they're big.
Well, I mean, beyond 9, I need to see receipts.
He has them.
No, I'm not setting up a second account, Noble. They just had to switch my account to be a black specific account because apparently I won't be able to accept black rides on my account. They had to set they make it specifically for black only.
That's what
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jay, to answer your question, black with Uber is different, at least in Chicago. Because like Uber Black anywhere will have similar requirements. The process to get those requirements is different, but it's essentially the same. You know, like in Cali, you got to get a TCP number and all of that, and you know, here in Chicago, you got to get livery plates and your chauffeur's license. It's the processes are different, but they all take about the same amount of time. But yeah, with the exception of Chicago, anyone can do Lyft Lux Black. But in Chicago, I could still do Lux Black rides, but I cannot do Lux Black XL and I cannot do airport pickups.
You'll be able to do them though.
They specifically restrict those. But yes, once I get the chauffeur's license and I get the vehicle that's on a fleet account, then yes, I'll be able to do Lux Black XL. And that's where really the power of it's going to be, because I remember in the summertime when I was first starting to use Sketty, I was getting like 5 or 6 Lux Black XL pings, reservations through Sketty like every day. It was insane because apparently nobody that does Lux Black here has Sketty. Otherwise, I don't think I would have gotten that many requests a day. But, you know, unfortunately, that's also another restriction here. Without the chauffeur's license and livery plates, I can't actually do Lux Black reservations. So once I get that...
I want to have a clear understanding. You have to get a second account.
No.
So your account already has black on it.
No. So they
for
have
Uber.
So apparently there's 2 different modes. There's regular mode and then there's black mode. They have to enable black on my account, and then that'll trigger like a special background check that they have to run that's specific to black, and then that takes 4 to 5 days to process, and then my account will be able to do black.
All right.
But basically it resets your account. So like if you're new,
Okay.
So
Yeah, no,
It
they
sounds
just
like
made me. They told me to make a separate account, so I have one account for that I drive on right now, and then if I want to do black or if I want to go under somebody else's fleet, I can. I have another email, and
I
and they already did
contacted
the background
I
check.
contacted support, and I was very adamant in having them speak to someone that knew what they were talking about. Luckily, apparently one of his coworkers was knowledgeable about the process for black, and he told him what to tell me, and they said that they just gotta do a switch in their end, and it triggers a special background check, and then 4 to 5 days after you're good. I
It
didn't have
sounds like they're
they
deleting your account and making a whole new one. That's what it sounds like.
whatever it is they're doing. I mean, it doesn't matter to me as long as I get it.
well, at the end of the day, that's the bottom line, right? You want to make sure you can get the account you're shooting for.
Yeah, I don't care if it's not going to show my 1,600 trips that I've done before. Like I really don't care about that.
As long as
Right.
you have, well, the only issue comes in if you don't have access to your black vehicle and you want to use a standard vehicle. You can't put a standard vehicle on your black account.
I mean, I'm never going to go back if
No,
I ever want to do standard rides. So
but if your vehicle's in the shop, what are you gonna do about driving?
He
do
ain't gonna run
certain
from
That's what I'm
Toro.
talking about.
do certain things on certain apps that
Okay.
I don't
All right.
encourage.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's beyond Fight Club. Steven, you're not alone on those banged up Teslas. Seeing quite a few of them with side scratches and scrapes. All
I
right,
don't, and I don't like driving around like that. It irks me every time, and it's like I want to go and get it fixed like as soon as possible. I still need to find out if I'm in a position right now to go and do it, because as far as I know, Lyft hasn't finished with the investigation and nobody's contacted me yet. But I do have the what is it? The case number for it. So according to the shop that I went to, all they needed was the case information so they could start working on the repairs. So I'm gonna go and talk to them and show them that I do have the report number and I'm ready to go and see if they need anything else from me.
So Jay, to further answer to elaborate on what you just said, I don't know if you missed what I said before, but I would for in a city that has Uber Black, 70-80% of the black rides that come through Uber. They have a very clear stronghold on several corporate accounts, and that's the reason why that so many more rides come in through Uber Black than it will through Lyft Black. Now that being said, I still get rides, but you have to be very conscious about where you are and where you drive, because if you're just willy-nilly driving anywhere and anywhere, you will not get a single black ride at all. You
Wait,
can be
what was the
online
start
for
of that?
12 hours, not get a single ping. You have to know where the demand is. You have to be there right.
What was
in
the
front of
first
the door.
part of what you just said? You said they have contracts.
Yeah, Uber has a lot of corporate contracts. I mean, out the door.
Okay.
Lyft seems like they don't go after the higher end rides, the higher end contracts. They want the medical
Mhm.
stuff.
So
They want the
what
stuff where they can maximize. They want to maximize their opportunity to make money off the ride and the driver versus the higher end ride.
So
Go ahead.
Lyft does have a deal with Chase Sapphire and I think Amex, to where they get like credit back and also hotel points. So I do occasionally get the business traveler that uses it just for that, because they have their business, they have their business card is an Amex or a Chase Sapphire. So they use that and accumulate free points that way.
Yeah,
But
but that's
yeah, so all the big companies
right.
like Citadel and all the people that come in for these
Mhm.
conferences, these rich Chinese manufacturers that come in for manufacturing conventions, they all have corporate accounts, and 90% of the time they're through Uber.
They're through Uber. Yeah, it's global. It's global. That's why.
Yeah.
And they're probably holding some of that stock too, so they want to make sure that people get some money. Real quick, I want to go. This was all the way back at the beginning of the
Mhm.
podcast tonight. So, Vinny, I had my first Premier SUV hourly request for 2 hours from Miramar. Has anyone ever done a Premier or Premier SUV hourly? I have seen them come through my app. I have not taken one because, and this was pre upfront pricing. It just didn't make sense to me. But I'm curious, Octavian, what was the 2 hour? What was the 2 hour payout for the Premier SUV? Because I don't get Premier SUV. That's the only platform I don't get.
I'm curious too because Black we have Black hourly here, but they only charge a static. They only charge the passenger a static rate of $55 an hour, 2 hours minimum. So
Oh no, ours
how
is
much? I wonder what the percentage. You got $108 for 2 hours. Was that Premier or Premier SUV?
He said it was
The
Premier
first
SUV.
Okay, so that's probably that case. So that makes sense because I think here Premier SUV for 2 hours is like $75 an hour, so $150. So yeah, $108 makes sense for
See,
for
that's
Premier
odd to
SUV.
me though. They must have changed the prices on Premier then, because originally Premier hourly was like $74 an hour.
wow.
Now
Let me look here.
I haven't gotten one in a long time because I turned down quite a few of them. So they probably said, "Well, Vinny ain't taking them." Nope, not taking them. Nope, not for me. But if it's a slow time and it's a scheduled ride, then you make the money, bro. Absolutely, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, so I can see here. This is Black hourly is $50 an hour, and
Okay.
then and Black SUV hourly is $65 an hour.
That's why I don't like hourly.
But that seems so cheap to me.
It is,
It
yeah.
is. It is.
You know,
I mean,
don't
I would accept it only knowing that nothing else that they offer. I mean, unless I get that same ride and I'm stuck with them for those 2 hours, then I will get paid a lot more. And I've had rides where they literally had me take them somewhere, do whatever they did, and then take them back. But I've had that, and I had a 4 hour hourly, which I forgot how much I got paid for that. But looking back, it's not much. It wasn't much.
Yeah, like I just went to the screen right before I confirmed the price, and they didn't bump up the price. So it was just straight up static. $110 for $100 for 2 hours.
That's
And
crazy.
there's something interesting that happens too.
I wonder what the mileage limit is on
Yes,
that.
it says 30.
Well, okay,
30
so that's
miles,
what I was gonna
30
say.
miles included.
So when you go, on the other end, like as far as distance here in Los Angeles, go. So I'm in Los Angeles toward what is it, San Jose, and toward Sacramento area. Halfway, from what I've seen, you cannot get a regular ride. No regular ride and no comfort. You can only take Black. Which is interesting. I don't know when they changed that, but I tried to book to go up toward San Jose, San Francisco, and it would only let me book it under Black, and then it wouldn't tell you the price until you started searching for a driver.
Interesting. Yeah, Octavian, there's it used to be, maybe it's changed, used to be a max 35 miles per hour on the
Ooh.
hourly. So
Okay.
I don't know. It seems like Chicago, it's a little less. Like I said, I haven't done one in forever. Well, I've never done one, but I haven't gotten a request in a while.
I mean, it's most likely less because it's
Which
if you're going more than 30 miles, you're going in the suburbs, and that's that taking me away from the city. I mean, we're not as spread out as like Florida or Cali. Everything is condensed into like a 20-mile radius.
I mean, LA is spread out, but the significant. Right. LA is spread out, but it's, I mean, the important areas are pretty close together.
So since we're talking about this, I wanted to bring this up tonight. I guess now's as good a time as any. In a couple of my videos, I don't know how many Lux drivers and Lux black SUV drivers there are that are on the show tonight, but I wanted to show you, and I've been saying Lux Black is the new Lux, it seems like.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at this ride.
You mean Lux is the new Lux Black?
No. Lux Black is the new Lux. I'm going to show you. So here's a ride from last week. You can see March 19th. For you non-military personnel, that's 4:25 in the afternoon. This was a 34-mile ride for 45 minutes. There was no bonus or anything on this. The upfront price was $65.79. Okay. But now look at this. Lux Black, just a few days earlier, at 8:10 at night. I'm sorry, 10:10 at night. Okay. 31 miles, 55 minutes. Lux Black, 62.65. Now you balance the mileage and the time, and these rides are almost identical.
Your rates in Florida are really unique, to where like you really get paid well for per mile compared to like other cities.
But my point is, the point of this is, this Lux ride paid better. Yes, granted, it was 2 miles longer, but it was 10 minutes less than a Lux Black. And the Lux Black played less. Do you follow what I'm saying? I've been seeing a lot of this where the Lux is paying out better. Forget no bonus, no nothing. The Lux is actually paying out better than the Lux Black. Oh, wrong picture. Went the wrong way. My bad, y'all. So, there it is. So I just wanted to bring that to people's attention, because just because they throw that big number up at you, that big $65, obviously this is for my XL and up drivers, but because they throw that big number at you, people aren't paying attention. Now, obviously I took both rides because there was no real traffic, but the other trip, shorter distance, couple miles, 10 minutes longer, and it paid less. Doesn't make sense, because that should have been a Lux Black rate. And then this one I got for Brandon, because I want Brandon to see that was like a super duper duper super ride.
Was there any surge attached to that?
No surge.
No surge. That's no surge.
No surge.
$70. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was shocked too. I had a burger in my mouth when this came across, and I saw where it was at. I was here. You see where my cursor is?
You threw that food
right
out.
Here. Oh, out the fucking window, no doubt about it.
I take it and put it in my front.
Burgers. My truck was not going to be smelling like hamburger when I went to pick these people up.
That's why I put it in my front.
From here to that shit went out the window, bro. All 4 windows down.
He ain't got time. He's got to go.
Front and rear
right
ACs,
in my front.
all 4 windows down. Front and rear ACs on full blast, 60 degrees. Sunroof fully open, and me spraying a can of Lysol to get that burger smell out of my car for $70 for 3.5 miles.
All I ask from Lyft is to give me 4 of those a day. 4 of those a day. That's it.
Listen,
I would take. Yeah, that's all I want.
Of the 22 minutes that this ride took, 15 minutes of that was them taking pictures outside the front gate of their complex, because they were going over here to the Future concert. So they were using my truck as a backdrop for all their pictures. It was 4 young ladies, and they were dressed to the nines going to the Future concert. So I stepped away. They said, "Can we take pictures using your truck?" I'm like, "At Lux Black XL rates? Go for it." And then on top of that, they threw me a nice $25 tip.
So Vinny, let me ask you something about the Future concert. How was it?
It was packed.
No, let me rephrase. How bad was it? How bad was the area? Because when Future played here, it was a complete nightmare. You got people running red lights, doing 100 miles an hour on the sidewalks on the highway. People doing burnouts everywhere. It was crazy.
No, bro.
Absolutely nuts.
Let me tell you something. There are certain areas in Miami-Dade and Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, that they how can I say this without being mean? They did not defund the police. And they are going to make sure that those areas are locked down to keep it as safe as possible for people. This concert where it was at is already in the suburbs, so to speak. So they're not playing that game out there, bro. They're just not playing that game. Now, there might be some instances where, it seems it's all good, and we are not going to get political on this channel. But I'm just saying there are certain areas, as an example, you can go on the South Beach and get shot. Y'all, I'm sure everybody's seen the video of the car getting trounced that's been circulating around Twitter. I can bring it up if you guys want to see it. I'll go find it. It was just bad. I don't even know if that guy was an Uber driver or not. I think he was. But you can't go into Wynwood, which is inland, not on the beach, because there's so many damn City of Miami cops there. They're not having it because that's where all their money is. And where their money is their tax base. And they're going to take care of their tax base. That's just the way it is. So I don't know what happened to you guys, but future here, calm and quiet. When the young ladies got in the car, they asked me, hey, can they burn one? I said, no, you can vape as long as it's no weed in it, but you can't smoke any weed in my truck. And it was no problem. But I swear they had a couple pounds in there because they were loaded, bro.
Of course.
They were loaded, ready to go. So anyway, let's get a few questions in here. Octavian says, I finally started to get 2 Lux Black SUVs per week in South Florida. Bro, let me tell you, for me, Octavian, what are you driving again? You got a Suburban or you got an Escalade? I'm curious. But I get maybe 4 to 6 a month. And let me tell you, man, they're always good, dude. There's never a bad Lux Black XL ride. Never. Let's see. Amtrak.
Would you take a Lux Black XL from Key West to Disney World?
In a mother. Here's
$400.
Yeah, but no, it'd be more than that.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Lux Black XL down here runs about $4 a mile now. It's down from $4.50 to about $4.10 a mile, factored in time and everything. But you guys got to remember too, on Lyft, they chop you off. They're only going to pay you so much money on a ride. Down here, I think a regular Lyft ride is like $300 max. And I think a Lux Black SUV ride or Lux Black XL ride is like $500. So from Key West to Orlando, that's like 350 miles. It'd be like a $1,200-$1,300 ride. But we go for the ride. Your market's getting screwed with bonuses. I turned on Lyft just to see, and there were no bonuses during spring break and nonstop rides. Yeah, Amtrak Wizard. So what I've noticed is, and this is why I always tell people, I always put it in the videos. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. If the crowd's going left, I'm going right. If the crowd's going left, I'm going right. Because at all these big events, it's going to happen at Ultra. It's going to happen at, well, maybe not the Miami Open because that's a different type of event. But it's going to happen at Ultra. It's going to happen at Tortuga in April. It always happens on South Beach. It's never going to change. It draws all the drivers in. So you're going to have way too many drivers in the area to give it a chance to surge anything decent or bonus anything decent. I go the other direction, and yeah, I might have to wait 20, 30 minutes for a ride, but that ride's going to make me more in that ride than doing 2 or 3 regular rides out on the beach or at the event. And I don't have to fight traffic. I don't know, Steven, Brandon, how do you feel about that?
Like what I do for the Bulls game is I'll park like 1 or 2 like blocks north of the staging lot, and if I get a request, I'll tell them, hey, walk up, and it'll save us like a 30-minute time, 30 minutes of time. And
that's Buddha's strategy.
If they come, great. If they don't, I just cancel and I get another one right away.
Right. I prefer that. I haven't done it as much. I usually look at the ride and see where the person's standing, and I'll check and see if they're coming, if they're already walking toward the vehicle or trying to get away from all the traffic. But what a lot of riders don't seem to understand is if they put themselves in a better position, they're more likely to get picked up. And then I get a lot of people that keep saying, oh, well, I keep getting canceled on. It's like, well, yeah. You wear shoes that you can't walk far in, and then you're surprised when you're stuck somewhere and you can't get picked up. And you're literally in like a group of 100 people on a corner where you already got 5 cars that are sitting stacked, parked where they shouldn't be, and expecting us to be able to stop and get you. Yes.
So here's another thing too, just to I've never proven this, so I have no proof of this. What I'm going to say, this is just my tinfoil hat theory. When you go to an event and they got an Uber lot, how many times have you been there? You're waiting there for 45 minutes before the event lets out. You start seeing everybody coming out, and then all of a sudden you start seeing cars coming into the lot to pick up riders, but everybody that's in the lot is sitting there wondering, like, where the hell are the rides?
Mm-hmm.
So here's my theory behind this. This is why sometimes it's better to stay off property instead of be on property, because not only do you have 5 minutes when you arrive at the location to pick them up, maybe Uber and Lyft is looking for people 5 to 10 minutes away to give the rider more time to get to the location, so that when you pull up, you're not there or automatically start, and your timer starts as soon as they get the request. And these people are going to take 10, 15 minutes to get to you. I'm sure that's in their algorithm somewhere, that they'll pull from outside the lot before they'll pull from inside the lot at an event. I don't know. That's just my theory.
I think that's true, and maybe also they're trying to get more ride drivers there, because I'll be on the freeway and I know there's an event at SoFi or the Forum, and it'll start hitting me with rides. So I think there is something to that, maybe just to bring more drivers in. They already know the drivers that are local or that are in the area are there to pick up, so they can give them the scraps while they try to entice people from the outside to come in.
Well, I no, I don't. So what actually happens in my theory is that if they at least they're always going to go for the closest rider, and then as those riders decline those rides, or if there's no one available, then yeah, they're going to start expanding outwards. I've gotten, there are times where I've gotten pings like 7 or 8 miles away, and for Chicago, that's really far away. I would never take those.
Wait, hold on. I got to turn my mic on.
All right, be quiet.
Your mic's
Go
on.
ahead, Brandon.
Oh, there you go.
Brandon. And see, Brandon, I kind of think like initially they're going to pull cars from the outer sides to give people a chance to get to that point. But like I said, it's an unproven theory. Octavian says he's driving the Ford Expedition. Octavian, you got the one with the 6-cylinder? Is that the 6-cylinder Expedition? Because if that is, man, you're a third of a step ahead of every Suburban and Escalade on the road. Question for
Why better gas mileage?
Yeah, 6-cylinder versus an 8-cylinder every time.
As long as
Brandon,
the engine doesn't overcook itself.
Your apprentice wants to know: are you going to trade the Porsche for a Suburban?
Nah.
Okay.
Here's my current plan. Because I have to, because I'm still like $10,000 or $15,000 under with the car, so I'm gonna keep the car and just book it on Turo for as much as possible, and then get
back on Turo.
But this time, the big difference this time is that I'm not doing an any plan. I'm doing the 65 plan.
I was going to say.
And the 65 plan has 100% coverage on everything, 0 deductible, and I get comp time for the vehicle being down.
Okay. I was going to say, dude, like that story you told us when we started tonight about oh my God. Okay.
But I mean, like really, honestly, like that's going to be the best choice for me, because if I'm going to be leasing a Navigator or an Escalade, like the Porsche is going to sit there doing nothing. So I might as well at least make some money with it.
Okay, there was another question. While I'm searching this question here. Oh, it's being answered. Okay. Eddie, what's up, buddy?
Yes.
How are you? Welcome to Rideshare Garage, sir. We have a special
welcome.
VIP. We have a special VIP guest here in the house tonight. Eddie, this is Brandon. Brandon, this is Eddie.
Hey there, Brandon.
Wow, Eddie, long time no hear.
How are you today?
I am great. You sound like you're in a hallway.
Yeah, kind of. Hold on, I can
That's
change it.
because
I can change
wait,
it.
wait a
That's
minute.
because he needs.
No, because he bought the wrong damn mic. He wanted to be bougie and get the fancy RGB colors instead of getting a nice Elgato mic. But I still love the guy. The guy. By the way, for all y'all out there in on the interwebs, this is the third time Eddie and I have been live today.
Yeah,
I got a nice little
yeah,
Bluebird mic.
So just putting that
blooper.
out there. Just
Yeah.
putting that
Yeah,
out there.
and both. Well, only 2 of the times we're making money, unless people donate.
I'm just a
Yeah.
peasant with a regular mic.
And
Oh,
you know what?
yeah.
You
I can.
you sound fantastical, bro. You sound great. You sound great. It's us with these other damn mics. I don't know. I don't know how I sounded. For all I know,
Don't tell me that
I
you
sound
I
like a
spent
clown.
You
four
sound
hundred
clear.
bucks on this stuff.
4. Ooh.
Can you send Brandon some sense from
Well,
Florida?
it's because
Your boy,
Wait.
I
But
gotta edit
that's
that.
the thing that proves that just throwing money at things isn't create a solution.
But it
that's
was
true.
free. It was free.
Yeah, you know what they
It was
say about free.
400. But
Nah,
Yeah,
I saw that middle finger.
yeah. You get what you pay for, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I mean, wait. Okay, which mic is it? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. He said I was trying. It's called the Hyper.
All right, I'll look into it. You can fix a lot of stuff with
There's a
software.
whole bunch of settings on this thing. There's a knob right here, which I don't know what it does, and there's one at the bottom, which I don't know what it does either.
It controls the
and play.
sensitivity of the microphone, and
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
there's a bunch controls the tone, and yeah.
All right. So let's see what other questions we got in here. With the bench on the second row. So I guess Octavian, what he can do 7.
So he is driving black.
Yeah. He's got a black
So it's him.
Ford
It's
Expedition.
him. Noble. Anybody else that's driving black?
How many Lux Black XL drivers do we have on the channel tonight?
More specifically, how many Uber Black
Specifically
drivers do we
Uber.
have?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. The Uber black
Well,
drivers.
our market
I might be the first. I might be the first.
No,
See,
you
I
Uber
don't-
black and
Yeah, you might
Uber
be.
Premier drivers.
Well, there's a lot of Premier because Premier doesn't
Yeah.
require any special licensing.
I'm just curious because I'm wondering how many people are yeah. I know we've had a few people in the show that drive Uber black.
Brandon, they got a question for you here. What's the reason to not buy an Escalator Suburban for $50K instead of risking the Porsche on Turo?
The big reason is commercial insurance. Me, as a new commercial insurance requester, I will be required to put down $1,000 down and then
Yep.
pay $800 a month.
Yep.
And then on top of
Jesus
that,
Christ.
pay $3.50 every single day just for crowd transportation tax, and then pay $600 every year for livery plates.
Oh,
And then on top of that,
Oh.
the $50,000 investment for the vehicle. So to start off with, I'm gonna lease, kind of just poke around
and make sure it's good.
and use Para, use both apps, see if it's really worth it. And if it is, then I'll go buy my own car, no problem, easily.
Okay.
And then once I get to the point where I'm even on payments with the trade-in price with the Porsche, I'll get rid of it.
Okay.
Do I regret buying a Porsche? Honestly, I don't. I love it. I get compliments all the time on it. I've gotten a good number of private clients that come in from it. It's serving its purpose, but unfortunately, it does not qualify for Uber Black. In fact, no Porsche qualifies for Uber Black.
That just shocks the hell out of me.
It does. It does. Oh yeah, and Musa on top of that, the 20. Yeah, so I am paying a ridiculous APR, so it's in my best interest to get rid of that car as fast as possible. So hopefully,
the highest I get is Uber XL.
So hopefully I don't get any more $3,000 F-ups, and I'll be able to get back on track and start paying off that car faster.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, but remember,
Going through, apparently,
you can rent out the truck. I mean, like if you was to get the truck, you could actually rent it out the moment you get commercial insurance on it, and have
But
somebody
he
else
can't.
take care of that.
Yeah,
well,
but the problem is he won't be able to drive on it because he has the Porsche.
Then get two.
The reality is that the Porsche is not going to be good to put plates on it because it doesn't qualify for Uber Black.
yeah,
It qualifies for Lyft Black,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, that's the big reason why.
But you can take it in private. Once you have it on the
So
commercial, you can take it in private lease it.
well, just make sure.
I have something else going on. I've been getting it in the background. I haven't really told anybody about because, but I will say,
Don't jinx yourself.
come summertime, there's going to be a very interesting company with a very interesting backing, renting out some very interesting exotic cars for livery. That's
When
all I'm
you
going to say
say
for Chicago.
when you say exotic, are we talking Lambos, Ferraris, Bentleys?
Vehicles
When you
that
say
qualify,
exotic,
I'm exotic as in on the list of vehicles that are available to be driven on Uber
On the
and Lyft,
platforms.
the higher ends, more expensive ones.
yeah. So like a Bentley,
Ferrari, yeah, but Bentley, yeah, but Ferrari and Lambo, there's
yeah, they
none of
won't
those.
make it.
Yeah,
Well, actually, doesn't Ferrari have the truck? No, was that Lambo? The
yeah,
truck.
Oh,
Ferrari has a truck, and
oh,
Lambo
it's
has a
Lamborghini.
truck, but
So are
The
you
truck.
talking
Chrysler,
about sedans or
those
SUVs?
aren't even listed on Uber or Lyft.
Really?
So yeah, I mean they're not going to.
Well,
Are
I
you
mean,
talking
that's
about
just pay for them.
SUVs or sedans?
Just any vehicle,
Oh, okay.
any vehicle from them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, out of all
I'm
this
still
chaos,
curious about the Wagoneer.
uh, I'm gonna make a video once Lyft finally gets their crap together and actually fixes their list. But now that you mentioned the Wagoneer now qualifies for black on not just Uber but also on Lyft.
Oh, finally.
You can, because all up until maybe like a week or two ago, if you tried to add the vehicle to Lyft, it would only show XL, but now it shows
Mhm.
black XL.
interesting.
So now there's another option for you to get instead of just getting an Escalator or a Navigator as far as high end luxury.
Mhm.
Interesting.
The only
Randy
difference
has
here
a
in my
question.
market. Okay.
Go ahead, Stephen. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only difference here for Escalade is I think it's the only SUV that still qualifies for Lux, but that's only useful in my market in California.
Oh yeah,
So,
you and your Uber Lux.
so if you drive Uber Black, can you also drive for Lyft at the same time, meaning the Lyft platforms?
Well,
Does that make that question?
So
I'm sorry.
to answer, I'm going to answer his question on that. That
I'll be right back.
depends. That depends on how you get the black vehicle. If you get the black vehicle for to do from a fleet account, that would have to mean that the fleet owner has to have a Uber account and a Lyft account. So
Right.
if that fleet owner only has an account with Uber, that means that you're only going to be able to do Uber Black. You're not going to be able to
And
get
that
the vehicle. You're not going to be able to add the vehicle to Lyft unless you try to convince the owner to make a fleet account with Lyft. Otherwise, it's going to be stuck to just Uber.
and
And
that
from
actually was my problem when I was renting the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. He had it on Uber, but he didn't have it on Lyft. He said it would be easy for me to add it onto Lyft, but I didn't want to go through all the janky process of the insurance, trying to get the insurance on. They wouldn't accept the commercial insurance on the regular side, and then they wouldn't accept the commercial insurance on the livery side because my name wasn't on it. And in order to get my name on the insurance, they would have had to he would have had to add me to his business in order for them to put my name on the insurance, and he didn't want to do that. So
but that's the way. I mean, even when I was thinking about renting out my car, I had to put them onto my insurance. I mean,
No,
Yeah,
no,
so
the
it's
way
there's two different things. You
yeah,
can either be added to the insurance as like a contractor, or you can be added onto the insurance where your name is actually on the insurance policy. You know, like whenever a company will ask you for that information, they'll ask you whose the policy belong to, or to make sure that you're actually named on the policy. And usually they'll
was this a
kick people
commercial
off, like,
insurance or personal?
this is just, I mean, insurance in general. When you go, when they look over your forms or you're buying a vehicle and stuff like that, they want to make sure the name of the person purchasing is on the policy. So they will when they look at the policy, they make sure that your name's on there. If it's not on there, they won't, at least Lyft won't. I don't know about Uber, but Lyft won't accept it. So like Brandon was saying, with Uber, because he has a fleet already and he can allow whoever he wants to drive his vehicles as long as they accept, like, for example, me on the insurance. He just added me onto his, and my Black account connected to his account, and it showed his vehicles that he had available on his fleet, so then I could drive his car.
So let me clarify. If you've ever rented a vehicle from Uber to Tesla, the way that they do it is exactly the same as the fleet owner. They basically like Hertz will just ask for your credentials, and then will ask for your phone number, and then they just add the account using your add the vehicle to your account using your phone number. The fleet owner will do the same exact thing. That way, the inspections all on there, everything's already on there. It's already preloaded, pre-approved, so that literally, 5 seconds after they add it, you can enable it and start driving on it.
Yeah, because this is why I was saying you can't just add a regular vehicle onto the account. When you have a Uber Black account, it literally has like 5 or 6 different things you need to upload before it'll even let you look at the vehicle part.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted to address something because a number of people here in the panel have mentioned it, and a couple of people in the chat. Here we go. Tinfoil hat theory again. There used to be a big announcement that the apps would send out to us for driving to let us know the new makes and models of the cars. It used to be announced. Now they're not announcing nothing. You got to go try to hunt it down and find it. You know why I think they're doing that? Do you know why I think they're doing that? Because they don't want you bumping up. They don't want you elevating yourself into
Of course not.
XL, into Black, into Lux. They want to keep
You know what
down
else I
here
think?
instead of moving up here.
They make more money off of you.
Right. But I think they also want, potentially, you're going to add a vehicle that may qualify this year, and they already had intentions on removing that car that qualified from the list. It may have been a fringe vehicle or whatever, but then they remove it, and now you bought maybe a lower end of the higher end vehicles, and now it doesn't qualify anymore.
Yeah, could be. I mean, the QX50 doesn't, the J35 QX50 doesn't make it for like Lux and Premier down here,
Right.
but 60 all day long, twice on Sunday. So yeah, I get that. And
here it doesn't, the 60 doesn't qualify for Black. You can only get the QX80, or it says the QX56, but the QX56 is just the QX80.
Well, that's like with Premier SUV down here. You're going to be one of 4 vehicles, right? There's only 4 vehicles that you can rip on Premier SUV down here. Suburbans.
Really? Oh, okay.
Suburbans, Escalades, Navigators, Suburbans, Escalades, Navigators, the Yukons, the big Yukons, and there's one more. I forget what it is. Oh, the Expedition.
Oh, okay. So
here,
here,
here
we
in
have
Chicago, we have we also have those, and then on top of that, we have the Jeep Wagoneer and the Lexus LX.
Yes, we got. I have both of those.
Checked. I haven't bothered to go check because, like I said, that's the only platform I don't get. But Uber definitely wanted the big boys for that. The issue with that is, you're limited to what, and I guess it's a good way to control it. I mean, when we got in our vehicles, Richie and a couple of my other buddies, with the QX60s and me with the Caddy XT6. When I found out we got Lux Black XL, I about jumped out, got butt naked, and streaked down the street because I was like, "How is it that Lyft is giving it to us, bro? It would have been a nice show, Eddie. Why are you laughing, bro? I'd have made TikTok. What the hell? White man goes crazy. Anyway, um, you know, but we don't get Premier SUV. I don't know why Lyft gave us that, but I'm thankful. I'm like, I ain't mad at you. I ain't never had nobody complain. Ain't nobody ever complained.
And
Leg room in that
what
third
I
row.
find interesting is that Lyft has it's like one seat less than Uber for the SUV.
So here's
but people
Lyft's
have a
policy.
misconception.
It as long as the vehicle qualifies for Lyft Black and has 7 seats, it can also do Lyft Black XL. Like you can I've made fake vehicle ads where I've added a BMW 5 Series and I put that it had 7 seats, and then it showed Lyft Lux Black XL on it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like with Uber, because Eddie, you can attest to this. You got the XT6. Anybody else out there that's got the XT6? That third row, you adjust that middle seat. That third row, you can get a couple of 6'2", 6'3" guys back there, and their knees are not scrunched up against that middle row.
It's
It's
that back
got
seat, the one that I don't like. I always put the little people in the back.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying I've had 6'1", 6'2" in the third row, and just adjust the middle seat up, and they got so much room, it's not even funny.
Jay, to answer your question, for an SUV, it's $600 to $800. $600 for like a Suburban, and then $800 for an Escalade or a Navigator, and I think it's like $700 for a Yukon Denali.
I don't know if, and I see another question or a statement. Jay was like, I'm tempted to go to 300 miles for the 35K Black Escalade. I mean, I am so conflicted. Like when people, when they ask me about it, I always tell them the first thing. Just make sure you can afford it without Uber and Lyft. Because if not, you're going to blow your credit up. That's just the way it is. Because like Brandon, the guy in your area, 180,000 K, right? I did the video on it. It made its round around the YouTube channels, right? We've always seen it. I don't know why somebody put that up there, but that's, bro, your apprenticeship is bagging on you tonight, bro. I'm just letting you know. Okay,
he does it all the time in the Discord.
He talks a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, he wouldn't be doing what he was doing if it wasn't for me, so he can suck it.
I'm sure it's all love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like how Eddie picks on me every morning. Eddie's always Eddie bullies me every morning on the trading.
He says it's Vinny's fault.
Yeah, he always blaming me, bro. So I get it. But what I'm saying is make sure you can afford that vehicle first, Jay, unless you don't care if your credit goes sideways or not. Because at any given moment, they can flip it. They flip the script at will. And I just showed you guys Lux Black is the new Lux as far as payouts. Especially for anything long distance. So
Brandon, did you already answer Jay's question?
Yeah. It's
okay.
$600, $800, and then the sedans are like $350 to the $550. Oddly enough, an S550 costs $550 a week.
Wow. So Eddie, how was your night tonight, bro? You got out late. Did you actually go out and work or what?
Actually, yeah. It was actually a pretty good night. I was doing my pickup, drop off, stay put strategy.
Oh, I was going to say, I was curious. Were you at the Texas Double D's, or were you at the booby trap tonight on the pole?
Wait, hold on. What are we talking about?
Which ride were you working tonight? Texas Double D's or the booby trap? On the pole.
I still,
okay, it's over your head. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, way over. I don't know. Because you're saying double D's, and I was like, wait, hold on. I never met no chick with no double D's yet. So
no, you were dancing tonight, weren't you?
No, I was not. Was I dancing?
I'm just trying to make fun, bro. It's so dead in here, man. Where's Jeff when I need him?
Yeah,
on by the river. Anyway,
Look,
how was your night, Eddie? Seriously.
So far, it was a good night. It was a good night. I can't complain. I wanted to stay out a little longer, but this last ride took me home, so I took off. So I made a Uber. I did $78, 3 trips with Uber and Lyft, 4 trips, $75. So
Okay, not bad because you weren't out long at all. What were you at? About 3 hours, 4 hours?
3. Let me see. I finished it about. It was almost 9, like 8:30. Was it when I finished?
Right.
3, 4. Yeah, about 5 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours,
See,
150 some bucks. So
see, Fun Trader caught what I was saying because he knows we got a couple of booby traps here in the area. I didn't say Tootsies. I didn't say Scarlets because we all know Eddie's low class with his fancy mic.
Scarlett's the only place I go to, man. The last strip club I went to before I left Florida was Scarlett's.
Scarlets. I haven't been to any of those. Got to be now. Let's see, I'm 54, so it's got to be at least 30 years now. No, maybe like 25 years.
A long while ago, when the rapper Gucci Mane was still like in the process of blowing up, I met him at the strip club, and I remember him having like 20 racks sitting in front of him, just chilling,
just doing his thing.
yeah. And then I realized I didn't know who he really was at the time. I thought he was just some like rich guy, and then I kind of find out, oh, that's fucking like Gucci Mane. I was like, oh my god, I didn't get a picture with him or anything. But that was
awesome. A joint down here. There used to be a joint down here called King of Diamonds. Okay, and King of Diamonds, there'd be 10, 15, 20 racks on the table, and the person you had no clue who they were. It was that kind of a joint, bro. It was, yeah. Richie, you haven't been to the booby trap since they remodeled. I'm not even going there with Richie. Eddie.
Okay, what the hell is it? Okay, who's been to the booby trap besides freaking Vinny?
I've been to the booby trap.
Oh, I've never been. I just
I've
told
been
you
there.
I haven't been to
Okay, I think his wife is standing next to him.
Uh-oh. What is Key
What is
know
that?
about this? It's time for him to go to work. I can't see it. But
yeah, it's time for me to go to work. I'm getting Lux Black.
The fact that Kiera knows about King of Diamonds and Magic City has me just a wee bit nervous about her coming down here. Anyway, let me do some quick housekeeping.
She knows how to party. That's all.
Oh, well, you know what? I tell you what, she knows how to talk about Etsy, and she's a hell of a teacher because she got me today for about an hour and 15 minutes and just showing me some basic stuff. And I'm going to tell you what. So let me take care of this housekeeping while we're here. Anybody in here that hasn't already scanned her code, upper left-hand corner for her Uber Eats ebook, if you're doing food and you didn't scan this book, you're doing yourself a huge. All right, Brandon, be good, buddy. You're doing yourself a huge disservice, man. You really are. Also, Eddie's $5 ebook. You know, now he had anal babies last week, and he still managed to tap out $1,600 last week, even though he was down 2 days on maternity leave. He still managed to use his book. I gotta do this, guys. Don't get mad at me. Steven, can you update the Discord? Can you update the Discord link, please, so we can put that up? If you're in an area and you're looking for a Tesla rental, this is from Test Driver. They're not in my area, but I'm still going to promote them because I like what they're trying to do for people. If you're trying to rent a Tesla, scan that box up there. Scan that code to take you to their website. If they're not in your area, go ahead and apply anyway. And it doesn't cost you nothing to apply. And they'll put you on a wait list until they get into your area. So once that gets done, we'll put the Discord group up. Brandon's been moderating the Disc group. He's been doing pretty good. I haven't been in it much, but I promise I'll get back into it.
There's the link. So Eddie, take it and turn it into a QR.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. For the
there you go for the Discord group. Satin Dolls. Man, you know what? Me and Kiera.
Oh, I know. Actually, I tried doing it. I know why I couldn't do it because we can't put any more. I will have to erase one of the. There's the Discord. It's right here.
Yeah, but that's the old link. Just got to replace the link.
The one I just threw. Okay. Yeah, so erase that one and put the new one.
I'll take care of it. All right. Satin Dolls is a spot in New Jersey. The strip club in The Sopranos. Oh, where what's his name? He was killed out in the back of that. I remember that episode. Baby Dolls in Dallas. If anyone is interested, I'm not, but there you go, Eddie. You can go find your future wife.
There you go, Eddie. You got that.
Yeah, I only dated one stripper, and I think it lasted like 2 weeks.
I never have, brother. Never will.
I did,
Yeah.
I guess.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, no.
I got 33 years in my
Two,
marriage, bro.
3 weeks.
I am not doing it.
Dated a stripper
Nope.
one time. That was it.
Not me.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I figured out why they're not marriage
Relationship
material.
No, okay.
No, not relationship. Marriage material. It is just that
material.
it's just they make so much money that they believe that you're like their sugar daddy. I was like, yeah.
A warped perception of income.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, pay for
All
your-
right, so let's change this conversation real quick because before we start losing people. All right, there's the Discord updated link. You guys can jump in the Discord there. We'd appreciate it. Well, there's not a whole lot going on this week, so to speak. I showed you guys, if you're driving Lyft Lux, really pay attention to it. Pay attention to the upfront pricing because they're pulling games on us. We talked about the $180,000 driver. Eddie, Steven, you guys are wanting to go fleets. You guys, right?
Yeah.
You guys read the article. I mean, what were your feelings on that?
Well, I only read that just basically that how he got the fleet spent 180 grand, I think it was, or 100 somewhere around that. Okay, and then all the closing, yep, and then they just basically just closed his account.
This yeah. All right, did you already say what you wanted to say?
Yeah, no, I mean, how long did they close it for? Because every day that they closed his account, he couldn't use it.
Oh, he lost the car. You didn't read the whole article.
No,
So he got deactivated. So he first got his first Uber black car, got his insurance, license, everything in there in Chicago. And then he was making money. He bought a second car, $90,000, I think he spent for the second one. And he put a driver in it. Then all of a sudden he was deactivated because they thought he was spoofing the app. Right? Even though he had two cars on it, they thought he was spoofing the app because he was in two different places. Mm-hmm. Turns out the metadata that the AI or their algorithm picks up doesn't necessarily match the actual location of where you're at. But anyway, so he woke up one morning and he was deactivated. So for weeks he was going at it with them. Hey, what is the problem? I did everything you wanted me to do. I sent you a picture, yada, yada, yada. And they told him, well, we can't help you. You're permanently deactivated. But then there was a guy who writes articles on the rideshare industry for MarketWatch, Levy something. Anyway, he got involved and he was able to get the guy reactivated.
Yep.
But if that would have been you or Steven, because I know you guys are thinking about fleets and things of that nature, you'd have never got back on the platform.
Yeah. Well, if I do a fleet, it's not gonna be for just Uber and Lyft. I'm gonna have other options with it. Because if that happens to me, then it sucks because every time that car is out on the road making money, it costs you money at the end of the month because you have to basically find a way to come up with the money that you owe.
Yeah.
So I think he definitely jumped the gun. He went way too fast. I mean, even in my position to a certain extent, I feel like I went a little bit too far. Only because I could have got a less expensive vehicle to get into the same position. I'd be paying more on the fuel side, but the charging, like New Year's Eve, I got to learn from that situation and learn that it ate up like an hour and a half of my time that I could have been working. But he spent way too much money too fast. He should have got himself something cheaper just to get his feet into the door on this. And then I mean, not to say that the situation that happened to him wasn't just unfair, but the likelihood of that happening to people is very high. We hear it all the time. People getting deactivated for things they didn't do anything. And clearly on this situation, it's just something that was in the software on their side, and they weren't even willing to look into it. The only reason they did is because they were getting bad publicity off of it. And that's, unfortunately, until some of these policies, or these things come through where they want to require them to explain why they're dropping somebody from the platform and holding them accountable for it. Until that's everywhere, you're going to see some things like this continuing to happen. My solution and safeguard for that is constantly building out your own private client list. It's like he should have been doing that from the start, and spending that much money, not really, in a sense, because you're saying he saw he was making money, so you didn't take enough time. Yeah, you didn't take enough time to analyze what it was going to be like making money for a year. What are your expenses going to be? What are your taxes going to be? Where did all this money come from in the first place?
He probably borrowed it. He probably 2 car loans, and then he had and see, I don't knock the guy for what he did, but to me, there's only one or two ways to do this.
But he should have known.
You do it like Kushnev out there. You don't go and get a bunch of black cars. You go and get a bunch of X cars.
Yes.
Right. Get your X cars and you rent those out, because at least those aren't caught. You get 3 or 4 of those for the price of the Mercedes he bought. Right.
And also, if one goes down, you still have a bunch of other vehicles ready to go.
But if you buy 3 Priuses, say at $25,000 a piece, right? So that's $75,000. He spent $90,000 on that Mercedes. Right. Now, this is not knocking him. This is just dissecting the situation from a business standpoint. You can get those 3 Priuses, you rent those 3 out, it's probably going to net you more money and less expense because you're renting those cars out to drivers, right? So it's cheaper. You're going to get paid more than renting out just the one Mercedes. So that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is like what you guys just said. Have your client base already established. Have a client base already. Never make the jump unless you have to. You know what they say, right? Always say yes and then figure it out later. Well, if I've got 25 clients, then I can normally do it by myself, right? Because I'm not moving 25 clients in a day. At best, I'm going to move 2 or 3 in a day, and then I got people I can call on.
Yeah, the moment that happened to him, he should have been like, okay, you know what? I'm going to rent all my cars on Turo. That should have been like something out there, or if there was drivers
maybe
out there,
tried.
Be like, hey,
he might have tried. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, and even if he leased his vehicles, the likelihood of the income being enough to cover what he was paying on them is probably pretty low. Because really, when you first start, especially, Brandon was just talking about this. Commercial insurance is not like regular insurance. It starts off really high, and it starts off like you're a brand new driver. So you pay like $1,000 down, then you pay additionally every month. So to really position yourself well, you're much better off, like you were saying, get a bunch of Priuses or cheaper vehicles. So Kush, from what I understand, all of his Priuses that he bought were under $10,000.
Yeah, that's. I was going to ask you about that. Can you go through what he did there? Because Prius.
So he got he said the business was. They're cheap cars, but the fact is, a lot of people need a vehicle that's not their own in order to do this game. And the funny thing is, Hertz and all these other companies are literally making it easy for somebody that has a privately owned fleet to do good business. All they have to do is do advertising because their vehicles are less expensive to lease. So what he did was he was driving Uber Black, and he already has his fleet. So then he was looking for more ways to make money because Black, everything slowed down since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So he started talking to another guy, and he says this in his video, and I'll probably look for the video and link it up. But he says in the video that he started talking to somebody that he knew also either worked in Black or something like that, and they were looking for ways to make more money. So then they're like, yeah, we want to get more high-end vehicles to lease them out, but that's impractical. And you know, how are you going to get somebody that's going to constantly commit, you know, to continuing to lease out this vehicle? But the thing is, if you have cheaper cars, you're going to get a lot more people that want to lease vehicles from you. So then they start looking into how expensive are Priuses, you know, what vehicle could they get that was going to be a good rideshare vehicle, reliable, long lasting. And that's where they got to the Priuses. They looked for as cheap of Priuses as they could. And I think they might even be working with somebody that what is it? That what did they call it? Auctions. They probably have somebody that works. So they went around, started buying these Priuses. I think they started out with like 4, and then they kept adding. I think he's up, at least 2 or 3 weeks ago. They were at like 9 or 10 Priuses, and they just constantly rent.
So if you're into the fleet thing, if you're trying to build a business within the business, you know, make sure. I mean, you know, just you have to go into it understanding all the situations that can pop off, man. Because at any given time, that's your ass. So Melvin says, always have a Melvin. What's up, bro? What's going on, man?
This is Sparta.
But it's a lot less risk.
Yeah, you gotta minimize your risk. Like with me, and I told Eddie this earlier, and I told Richie. Richie knows where I'm coming from too. Like I'm getting away from all that friends and family stuff. I don't want to.
Can you explain that again?
So I'm getting away from private clients.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to the point where when I sit down and I really do the math, right, they got to be paying me.
Right.
Because an hour trip, as an example, yesterday morning, I had a client and our friend. They were going on a cruise, right? And I've dealt with them for years. So it took me an hour and 20 minutes to get them from point A to point B. Okay, coming from Tamarack, going down to the port of Miami. They were on a cruise, right? But it only took me 40 minutes to get back home. Now, that's 2 hours plus the half hour beforehand. So that's 2.5 hours that I'm dedicated to that client.
Yes.
And if the pay doesn't match up, then in my opinion, it's not worth doing. Now, I'll do them because, I mean, we're friends too. You know what I'm saying? I'm friends. And she's a much older woman. I've dealt with their family for years in my other business. But a lot of my other clients, nah, bro. No. Taking them to the airports are always good. Money's always great. But man, delayed flights, flights canceled. So if you're booking someone, right, you have one of 2 options. If you book someone and they're arriving in your city, there's a no refund policy. If you don't show up, that ain't on me.
That's on me. Yeah,
100%. You still got to pay me. You have to.
I have a 2-hour minimum.
Do you know how many people will walk away from you and just leave you hanging?
Yep.
It'll happen more times than not.
Yep.
So at that point, now what do you do? Okay, so now you're done.
Cancellation fee.
Yeah,
no, I have.
You got to get paid.
I have a.
Now you got wait. But now, Eddie, you got to make sure you've got their credit card on file, or they pay you.
You get paid up front. Yep.
Correct. Well, I do that with QuickBooks.
Do you understand that if you are not a legitimate car company, if you're not a limo or executive car service provider, completely legal and everything, do you know how you cannot do that?
Yeah, I know I can't do that. That's why I only drive friends and family members.
Well, I'm just saying, me personally, I'm getting away from all of that. Now, that's not to say if we're somewhere and somebody comes up and throws $300 in my lap, I ain't going to take them where they got to go. I like, get your ass in the back. Let's get out of here. Right? That's a whole nother ballgame. But to sit there, for me, I'm getting away from it. There are some guys that make anywhere from $800 to $1,200 a week. Hell, I know one woman who used to feed me rides. I used to take care of most of her overflow. She's got to be doing anywhere between $1,500 and $2,500 a week, all private. She don't drive Uber, don't drive Lyft. She's just doing her thing. But me, I guess maybe I'm just getting to the point where I don't want to be committed like that.
No, I think you need higher clientele.
No, I got some good clients, bro. I don't live in Austin. I live in
Like
Miami,
really,
Fort Lauderdale. Trust me. Trust me.
you know, the
Trust me.
big ones.
And then once, whoa. And then once you get out of pocket, once you start charging them what they need to be getting charged, they'll find somebody else.
Yep.
You know why rich people got money? Because they don't fucking spend it.
I don't know.
Wealthy people will not spend money. Okay. I'm
No,
talking the majority.
they spend everybody
Unless they
else's.
get no. Unless they got a return on investment. Most wealthy people do not spend money like that.
I know, but I mean, if you think about it from a business perspective, they have to spend the money, or else they pay
Not
taxes on it.
necessarily. Yeah. What do you mean they got to pay taxes on it?
If you don't spend the money, they have to spend tax. They have to pay
Have you
taxes
not?
on it.
What do I need to go pull up the Donald Trump Hillary Clinton campaign debate to tell you that that's what you just said right now is bullshit?
If
They
they
have
don't,
they have so many loopholes. These extremely
yeah,
wealthy people.
the book is called Tax Loopholes.
Yeah, they got plenty of them.
Yeah,
Donald Trump got away without paying taxes on $987 million.
yeah, yeah. How do you think he did that?
Tax loopholes. He didn't
Spending
spend
the
it.
money.
Well,
Yes.
that's debatable. That's debatable. What I'm suggesting to you is if you charge fairly, how many drivers in the group, when you go to take a private client, okay, when you go to take a private client, you look at the Uber app first to see what Uber's charging. Because if that's the way that you're pricing out your rides, you don't need to be doing private rides. And
I'm
I'll
sorry, say
stand.
that one more time.
If you are pricing your rides compared to Uber and Lyft, you don't need to be doing private rides. Because what you should be pricing your rides out at is what the limo and executive car companies are pricing their rides at.
Okay, so what about if you are you're at an event and there's people walking by in comparison to if you're scheduling a ride for somebody, and you have to actually show up at a certain time in order to get them and everything like that.
Well, you already got a predetermined price. That's a predetermined price. So Richie's saying, how do you do that smoking dope? You see, this is why I don't talk to Richie about this no more. Because he thinks that you know what, Richie, I'll talk to you later about it because I'm not going to put you out there into the interwebs like that. Like I said, if you're going to be doing private rides, if you're going to consider yourself a business, don't compare your pricing to Uber and Lyft. Compare your pricing to your local limo companies. Because trust me, they're getting a hell of a lot more than Uber and Lyft are charging, but yet you're doing the exact same work as a limo company would do. You're on demand, you're scheduled out, you can't cancel. Right? I'm just saying.
Somebody was trying to get me to give them rides privately from my house because I wake up early in the morning because I was right here, and then they called. I just went to his apartment, picked him up, drove him up the road, and we were talking. It's like, oh yeah, we're neighbors, whatever, blah blah stuff. He's like, hey, can you be my private driver? I was like, not for $6.
Exactly.
I was like, oh, but that's what Uber. Yeah, that's what Uber charges you, not what I'm charging you. I was like, I'm not driving you to your job with a Tesla for $6. I just took you because we're neighbors. We're right next to each other. Okay.
Right.
And you're going like literally like 1 block away.
Exactly.
He's like, oh, how much are you gonna charge me? $20.
Exactly.
Oh, that's too expensive. Call an Uber.
And Richie, while he's listening, because Richie, I keep telling y'all, Richie's like my big brother, right? Big brother I never had, and he will put me in check at times.
Look, you got agrees.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, if you're going to pretend you're a business, then don't pretend. Be the damn business. I know for a fact, it's $85 flat fee for a private car, executive car, which would be like a sedan. Might be your Model Y, right? Could be RXT6s, whatever. It's a sedan, so to speak.
Yeah, mine's 80
right?
to 100.
3 people from Miami International Airport to South Beach is an $85 flat fee. Do you know how long it takes during normal traffic? Not rush hour, normal traffic? About 23 minutes. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You get $85 to go less than 10 miles. Now, I just got rid of clients, or I just kind of turned them away. I was getting $5 a mile, and it'd take me 30 minutes to pick them up from where they live to where they were going. It's getting $50 a chop. It's good going. But the last 2 or 3 times when they're arriving back in town, I'm waiting an extra hour, hour and a half. You understand? Because their flights are delayed or jacked up. So this is why I'm saying, for me, I've gotten away from the private.
I have got some private clients, but how they do it is that when they're ready, they text me. I'm out on the road. Usually I'm out on the road. I'm making my money, and then when they're ready to go, and they give me, hey, just send me a text when you're ready to come pick. When you want to get picked up, and book, because usually they're like around here, they're local.
Yeah, but most people are going to an airport. Most of your private rides are going to be to and from the airports.
Yeah.
Most of your private clients, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for when they come to Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, they're looking for, airport transfers.
A discount.
Not necessarily to go to dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Wes says it's not worth the private rides because obligation and mental commitment. I need at least 100, 150 minimum. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like if you can get paid what it's worth, if everybody's going to sit up here and pretend to be a business, or they're going to go through it and they're going to go get the commercial insurance, they're going to get the chauffeur license, they're going to get the county license, they're going to get the airport and the cruise ship ports licensing, which is, listen, chauffeur license down here is $125 out of Broward County. It's cheap, right? It's $500 to get the port and airport licensing, and then you've got to get their transponder, because every time you go and drop off at the airport, you get charged. Every time you pick up at the airport, you get charged. All that's got to be paid. Commercial insurance will run down here anywhere from $65,000 to $10,000 every 6 months. Like this is serious business. Yes, Richie, I agree. Those $50 rides were too cheap for the pickup, not for taking them. But I'm not going to argue with Richie. I love Richie. I love you, Richie.
Damn, I'm good.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to get off that.
We need more different types of voices. Who's supposed to give us some samples? Was it Wes? Who was it?
No, that guy in the upper right-hand corner there. He was supposed to come in with some voice keytones. And no, Kiara and I got to sit down and figure it out. She has admin rights now in here. So
You just gotta
we're gonna figure out a soundboard.
tell me when you're ready to record.
We're gonna get a soundboard for her so she can do her thing in here. Anyway, it's 10:47. There wasn't really a whole lot going on. We're on spring break down here, so although we got some events, I haven't worked. Well, I did private client Monday, private clients yesterday. Today I didn't drive because I was on this damn computer too damn much. But I'll be back out tomorrow. But one thing I noticed, I don't know about you guys' area. School right now is out here. So not only do we have college spring break in town, the regular schools are out of town. Well, the last 2 or 3 weeks, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, surge has been everywhere. I send it to you guys in the text group all the time, right? You see, we were surging and bonusing and $10 surges, $12 surges, whatever.
They're hiding surges. Uber is hiding their surges.
That's what I was leading into, Eddie. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
No, I want you to talk about that a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I took a picture of it and I put it on my last video. Was like, I started my day. I was like, it's going to be a slow day because it's not surging, neither Uber nor Lyft. Now, I know that usually if Uber surges on the north, Lyft will surge on the south and vice versa. All right. So, if it's surging with whichever app, that's the app that I stay with. So, nothing going on. Boom, I turn the app on and I automatically pick up a $4 and something surge with Uber. And I'm looking at the screen and I was like, there's nothing here. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. So they keep hiding it. And I showed you guys one time on one of my videos where there was a glitch. And I recorded it. And then when I turned the app on, you saw like the glitch, like it flashed. All right. And you saw you saw the surges. It was all red, but then it went away. So they keep hiding it. They're hiding my surges. That's why I don't go to them, because usually doing traffic, there is surges. All right. For some reason, it's not there, but I keep picking up a surge on the bottom of the screen. It says $4 something, whatever, surge. I was like, where did I pick it up from?
Happens a lot. Happens a lot.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. All right, so it's 10:50. It's gonna be an early night tonight. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I'm sorry out there, interwebs. I'm a little whooped tonight. We're missing Jeff tonight. Missing Carrie, even though she was in the comments. She'll be back on the screen shortly, but she is, she's doing her thing. Let me tell you something. Kara's one smart cookie. At some point, she's gonna have to put together an Uber class, or not an Uber class, an Etsy class for those that are looking to create their own businesses. We'll do something where it'll be in private. It won't be open to the web all at one time. We'll probably take 5-10 people in that. I know I'm springing this on Kiara as we're talking, by the way. She didn't know I was coming with that tonight.
Well, like Kiki go through the whole entire process.
Yeah.
You
We'll
gotta
set
do
up
this,
classes.
and then we gotta do this. You gotta do this, and then you put it out there, okay, and you wait to get paid.
And you wait to get paid? No, you got to put in the work to get paid. So hey, even Melvin's like, bro, Uber's been playing games in Texas.
Yeah.
I just find it funny. A couple of days out of the week, it's Lyft heavy. A couple of days out of the week, it's Uber heavy. A couple of weeks, it's Lyft heavy. A couple of weeks, it's Uber heavy. It's like I can't make heads or tail out of it, but I'm still hitting my numbers. So
look at this. I want to show you. I want to show you this because this has been. This is 3 trips with Uber. 3 trips with Uber, $78 I made today. But this is my rating. I'm a blue.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my status. I gave up on my status.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I gave up on my Uber status. Okay, look, 79%. That's where I'm at right now. Okay, look at that. I lost my platinum status, and I used to be a black diamond because I started cherry picking.
Right.
And look at this. 3 trips, $78.
I've been saying this. I've been saying this.
Yeah, I've been getting better rides. I have to wait longer, but I get better rides.
You don't have to take every ride they throw at you.
You know, I gotta stop canceling.
Listen, I hope Jeff has got his down. He was like 30% cancellation rate at one time.
See, mine was like
I was at
Go ahead, Steven.
Oh no, I was thinking about the other rate. Jeff said that he just woke up. He slept right through the day. He said, the rain's jacking him up. Jacking up his sleep.
Hey, rideshare with a car on Turo. No. I don't think you're going to be able to, given that once you put the insurance information in there, then...
No. We just went through all this tonight. Eddie, first of all, do you have Premier SUV in Austin? That was the question from Jay.
No, I don't get Premier SUV.
So it says here, you're allowed to do rideshare with a car from Turo. Andrew, all I can tell you is get with Brandon. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. I don't know if he's willing to. He's not going to share it publicly. He'll share it privately. I'm pretty sure. So get with Brandon. Scan that Discord group code in the upper left-hand corner. You can reach Brandon on the Discord to reach out privately to him. You know, he did it, but he almost paid the price. So that's all I can say about that. You have to cherry pick, Eddie. I'm at 19% acceptance rate. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop.
I'm at 5% acceptance rate.
See, I'm not. I'm at like 53, 52 or 53 on Uber and like 47 on Lyft. But as I've always said, you can teach the algorithm what to send you. You're just going to suffer for a week or two getting there.
Yeah, and I've actually through this week I've been testing what Jeff is always talking about, which is these short rides, trying to capitalize on short rides that pay really well. Unfortunately, there's a lot of terrible rides that come out in Los Angeles, but trying to capitalize on some of these short rides that put you, that guarantee you in 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. He said he wants to make $20 at least what, every 15 or 30 minutes? I forget what Jeff
I
says.
think it's 30 minutes.
Yeah. So so it guarantees him at least the 40. That's not even talking about whatever tips he gets.
Your acceptance rates cannot get you deactivated. Your cancellation rate can get you deactivated.
That's what they
But
say.
Yes, it can.
your acceptance rate cannot get you deactivated.
100%.
So you get a high cancellation rate, you keep canceling everybody, you're going to get the boot. You know, well, I don't know. Like I said, I've had experience in training the algorithm. So and that's what I've been doing. I've been training the algorithm, but I've got no problem. I got no problem taking a $10 2-mile ride. I will take those all god darn day long. Send me 4 or 5 of those an hour. 2 miles takes me about 7-8 minutes. I will take those all day long. I'm wasting no gas. I'm going nowhere,
Mm.
and I'm getting $10, $12 a clip. And here's the other part to that. If they're coming in that quick and that often, that means there are bonuses on top of there too. Surges and bonuses. I'll do them
Yeah.
all day long.
My area, Los Angeles, like Eddie was saying, playing games with bonuses and bonus zones. They disappear too much, or they're non-existent when it comes to Uber. So really, it just comes down to grabbing those rides that say $4 for 5 minutes, $4. Because I can't go based off of the distance, because a mile might be 15 minutes, might be 30. Who knows?
Jay says, "Hey Vinny, I'm glad you're cherry picking. Was driving me crazy. You chasing diamond and then not even reaching it. Sorry, sir, that was not me. I was never chasing anything. I don't know. I don't know if I ever did or not. I know as a Lux driver, I haven't. Anyway, all right. Tip of the night, Steven, hit it. Tip of the night.
Defer.
Eddie, give me a tip of the night.
Learn to day trade.
Okay.
Learn
I ain't even mad at
day
you for that.
trade.
Okay.
I ain't even mad at you to that. Eddie
Once
had
the-
a
you know
big,
what? Just either wait for the green line to cross over the orange line. All right.
Sergio's gonna kill him.
Yes. All right. It's easy. Good.
Sergio-
Just a green line cross
Sergio's
over the
gonna kill
yellow
him.
line. Boom. You buy, and then you sell like 10 seconds later. You just made money. That's it.
Hey,
Mm.
Steven.
Mhm.
Sergio is sick as a dog right now, right? He's not feeling good.
Oh, okay.
And I promise you, he just booked a Greyhound ticket for Austin. And by the way, Eddie had a nice nice learning experience today.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he went like 4 for 4 or 4 for 5 on his trades today with his new little strategy.
No,
Y'all
I think
can
it was.
tune
I
in.
think it was
We're
all
not going to
4
get
for
into it.
4.
We're not getting into it. We're
I
not
think
going to
it
get
was
into
4
it.
for 4.
That's tomorrow morning, 9:25 a.m. on your favorite bat channel. All right, Steven.
It's
go
funny.
for it.
I had one that I didn't write down earlier today, and I gotta remember what it was. But mitigate your risk. Most of us are already doing this. We're analyzing our situations. Whether you have, somebody mentioned in the comments earlier, having kids, having a wife. I'm in a very fortunate position. I mean, just because I can kind of do whatever I want without it affecting anybody else's life. But mitigate your risk so you don't end up in a situation where you spend $50,000, $60,000, $90,000, $180,000 on something, and then put all your eggs in one basket, and then you're relying on a third party and they completely destroy everything that you're working on.
Yep. I can't disagree with that. I cannot disagree with that. You got to limit your risk. I don't care what it is. And see, this is why I like trading so much, because in trading there's so many life lessons in that. Uber driving too. There's a lot of life lessons. Be careful where you drive. Here's my tip of the week: be careful where you're driving. Stay away from the crowds. If they're going left, you go right. Trust me, you're gonna make money. Just go right, because if everybody's left, there ain't nobody there to keep picking up everybody on the right. If you find a hot spot, keep going back to it. Never settle for what they want to give you. Never settle. All right. Okay. I think that's it. That's what we're going to do tonight. 16% cancel. You're walking on eggshells. I knew a guy at 12%. He got a warning, I think. Yeah. I mean, and there's your answer. Jeff, like I said, he's at 40 an hour.
Yeah, 40
Okay.
an hour. Mhm.
So we're gonna wrap it up tonight, y'all. It's gonna be a quick one. We're not staying out here. One last time, hit your QR code. There's the Discord. There's the
Give us
Discord
those
QR code.
thumbs.
All right. The $5 ebook, Eddie's $5 ebook. You too. Remember, Eddie's made over 100,000 the last 2 years driving rideshare. If he can
Way
do it,
over 100.
if he can do it, I know y'all can do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. You know, no joke. No joke. That's not hyperbole. It's not hyperbole. You can make it too. All right. Tesla rentals. If you're interested in renting a Tesla that you can drive on both apps, again, that code right there. And then the last one here is going to be for Kiera's Uber Eats book. Y'all check it out. Vinny, I meant to say Eddie. That's okay, buddy. That's okay, Jay. It's okay, bro. I love you. We're good. We are.
This is Sparta!
And we're going to get up out of here tonight. Appreciate everybody coming to the stream and checking us out. Next week should be even better because I should have some stories from the Miami Open, which used to be the Lipton Open. There should be some ultra stories. I'll see if I can get some video from all of these events. I ain't going to lie. If I can avoid ultra, I will, because where it's at this year, you will be sitting in traffic for an hour to go 2 miles. Ain't going to happen, y'all. Ain't going to happen.
No,
All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here. Everybody make the goofy face because we're out.
Pow.